If your husband, partner, or baby papa conducts a DNA test on your kids whom you claimed belonged to him and finds out that the children are not his, are you going to jail? You're about to find out. Paternity fraud has been on the increase lately. Heartbreak, betrayal, depression, lies, and everything in between. The latest one being that of former Chelsea player Jeremy Njita, who raised his lovely twins only to find out after 12 years of marriage that those kids were in fact fathered by his wife's ex. So he filed for divorce. Many nations, including Nigeria, where I come from, lack direct legislation when it comes to paternity fraud. Family matters are usually governed by customary law, religious practices, and occasionally statutes like our own. We have Marriage Act, Matrimonial Causes Act, and Child Rights Act. So there is no single legislation that criminalizes paternity fraud. But this doesn't mean that the victims are out of options. It's unfortunate because the men are the ones that are going through this heartbreak and this betrayal, but they're not out of options. The only crime I'm aware of in this regard is falsely naming a non-biological father on a public document like birth certificate. That's one you can be prosecuted for it, but that's it. I have not seen any other law that criminalizes anything related to paternity fraud. But like I said, there are options for the victims. Before I proceed, there are two important things you must note. First, during the subsistence of a marriage, children that are born during that time are presumed to be seeds or products of that marriage. Secondly, after a successful divorce, if the woman gives birth within 280 days, that child is presumed to belong to her former husband. So, back to the gist. What are the options that are available to the victim, in this case, the man who has been deceived? For those in marriage, the man, after DNA test has revealed that the child or the children are not his, that legally means that the woman has committed adultery, and that is a ground for divorce. So he can sue for divorce, he can file for divorce. Then he can also sue for damages and claim money against the real father and his adulterous wife on the grounds that he has lost money, he has lost time, and he has been put through emotional trauma. He can even sue for financial maintenance from the woman on the grounds that she caused the marriage to break down irretrievably. The problem now is, does she have the money to pay you, or does the real father of the children have the money to pay you? Life is not fair, but unfortunately, that's all you can do. And then for those that are not in marriage, for baby papas, you can sue for the thought of deceit and you can claim damages. Again, does the person you're suing have the money to pay you? That's the wahala. In summary, let us just pray not to meet wicked partners. Also, assuming that the victim collapses and dies out of heartbreak or heart attack, can the adulterous wife or her partner or the real father of the children be sued for murder? Unfortunately, no, because there are two elements that must be present for you to prove murder: actus reus and mens rea. Actus reus being the real act of killing you or killing the victim, not you, sorry. And then mens rea is the intent. And if those two elements are not present, you cannot prove a case of murder. So unfortunately, they cannot be prosecuted for murder where the victim collapses and dies out of heartbreak. People are calling for DNA testing, that men should be saved from this kind of trauma. That's not a bad thing. But also remember that crazy things are happening in the hospital. Babies are being swapped, especially by people who want a particular gender, or maybe because they want to please their husbands or their husband people, or they want to preserve their marriage. It's unfortunate. Crazy things are happening. So, in my opinion, I would say that it should be made a law that when a child is born or when kids are born, DNA testing should be done immediately. That way, the woman is not going to be upset that the man doesn't trust her or is accusing her of something she did not do. And the man doesn't have to face any kind of heartbreak eventually because the child or the kids are not his own. we are abiding by what the law says. It's not because I don't trust you. This is what the law says, and we are law-abiding citizens, and everyone goes home happy. I just hope that we get to a point where the law develops in this area and sorts this issue out once and for all. There's absolutely no need for one person to suffer because of one other person's, or because of another person's infidelity or irresponsibility. It is well with us. Thank you for watching my video to this point. At this time, I believe you have subscribed and you have liked and you have dropped a comment. Thank you, and I will see you very soon with another interesting video. Bye bye.